few seconds left here in the period. Comes across over to Webster. Webster shoots, and a glove save and a beauty by Seb Woodlands here late in the first period.
Looks like we may have a small technical issue with our broadcast of the video. Not
by Webster, tied up there by Caruana. Flack picks it up and sends it back to the point. It's late stages here in the first period in a 0-0 game between the Snipers and the Inferno. A do or die winner gets to face the Dogs in the grand final.
just on 15 seconds now to play in this first period, still 0-0.
Barrett with it behind the net, starting to activate. Flax in front, looks to send it in front. It's now loose in the slot area, and Hodik goes the other way. 5 seconds left. If Cy Lake can get a shot on, he winds, shot, and no luck.
And so at the end of the first, it's been a pretty exciting first period, but no goals scored. And shots on the net, well, quite a lot. It was a pretty exciting period, actually, but no one managed to actually break through the walls of D. So it's a pretty good play there by, in particular, I think the Inferno mostly dominated the flow of that game, of that period, sorry. But shots on the net, we've had, I'm just trying to find the statistics, sorry, while
it was, as you mentioned, it was
9 to 18. Snipers actually with 18 shots, and the Inferno with 13. So a bit of swing towards, actually no, that can't possibly be right.
Yeah, it started off.
That's not even the right game.
It started off in the first period, 5 straight shots to 0 for the Inferno, and it took some time for the Snipers to get into the match.
Yep.
But eventually, as they started to warm to it, we started to see, some of the power plays. They got in a little bit of penalty trouble for the Inferno. They got to win back some of that momentum. But the Inferno, when they got that speed going with the likes of Nikitin and Caruana, it was a lot of danger time.
Yep.
Down the other way. So it's still 0-0. We know what's at stake, a spot in the grand final against the Dogs.
So far it's been the goalies game, but very exciting so far. We will cut now for a break and be with you at 8:05.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet, flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
and they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies, but in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates,
put on your helmet, flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
and they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
it's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies, but in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
and they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
And welcome back, everyone, to the iceHQ ice rink here in a reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the second period of the semi-final you have when you don't have a semi-final between the Snipers and the Inferno. It's all tied up at 0 goals apiece after a torrid first. 11 shots on the net to the Inferno, 13 to the Snipers. But honestly, Gossie, I reckon that period was mostly Inferno through most of it. The Snipers with a few counter-attacks, but the Inferno with a great job of cutting off the occasional odd man rush they got through the Inferno defence. Gossie, what do you reckon?
It's a tough one, right? I think the Inferno, they look so dangerous on the counterattack, and the Snipers look so great when they set themselves up. But both of those seem to be working for them. So I mean, if you go back to the 2 weeks ago, I think when these guys played against each other last time, this was exactly where we were at after one.
The Snipers are missing their big counterattack. They don't have Justin Dixon tonight.
Yeah, no Dixon, no Gallagher, those two youngsters.
The young quick guys that are so good on the rapid counterattack, they're not here tonight for the Snipers, and that's left a big hole in the Snipers lineup. They do have two lines, but it is the older guys mostly. They've got Kikuchi, who's activating from defence and getting involved in the attack a bit, and Nave too, who is the other quick guy that they've got. But the rest of them, look, I'm not going to say they're slow because I don't think that's fair, but they don't have that real sting of Gallagher and Dixon. So they're just kind of missing out on that counter-attack, and a lot of their game has relied on those two getting out of defensive zone face-offs and getting past the opposition's defence. So they don't have that tonight.
Well, if I were a betting man right now and I had to pick one player from either team to as well. But this game is up for grabs, and it's going to be the team that comes out hard here in this second period, because I believe that it's really important that you try to separate some space going into the third.
There is an old saying in hockey about how you prepare for each period, and the first one's how keen you are, the second period's how fit you are, and the third period's how much heart and hustle you really have. So it's going to start to swing, I think, in the second period. That's when some of the cracks will start to open up. And I think the Inferno might start to take advantage of the Snipers. Just that slightly shorter bench that they've got. And the Inferno with some great speed. And as you say, they've got Minson, who's doing a great job tonight in defence. He's just reading everything. And they've got the speed. They've got Lake. They've got both the Nikitan boys. And we know that they are absolute breakaway masters. And their communication together is just second to none in this league. So them combined with Keisha and Karuna, I think, the Inferno are probably going to open it up in this second period. But that's just an educated guess and not even a very well-educated one. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this period pans out. But I think this is where it's going to open up, Gossie.
Well, the guys between the pipes, you see there, Tommy Forrest, you'll be hoping he can keep this at a 0-0 game. But I think Coach Drew Coffray, he's been here before. If you remember, he took the female Snipers through to the grand final last year, although to lose to the Dogs. I know that he'd be G'ing up some of those guys in the locker room just to let them know that they've got the talent. They just got to execute.
Well, the thing with the Snipers is this is for them either their last game or they're run into the grand final. So they're going to want to win this one, so they're going to have to throw caution to the wind and absolutely throw everything they have at it. Whereas the Inferno, I mean, of course they want to win tonight, but no matter what, they get another game next week, which if they win tonight, then it's a dress rehearsal for the grand final the following week when they play the Dogs. But there's a little bit, I'm not going to say less pressure on them, because I don't think that's the right way to put it. But there's certainly, for the Snipers, a fair bit of motivation to get themselves one more game out of this Pro League. And they're going to need it, because they do have a shortish bench, and they're going to need to turn it up, I think. Otherwise, as you say, Keisha and, Matt Karuna is going to get one past Tommy Forrest at some point in this game. But we won't know till it happens. We can make all the predictions we like, and we'll almost always be wrong. On the odd occasion we're right. It's always a nice one, but it's the commentator's curse, isn't it, Gossie?
Yeah, well, starting off here
Make a
is
call
being
and
the
it's guaranteed to be
very
wrong.
dangerous Sam Hodak out there with Caruana and the youngster on their wing, Alexi Raisman, and coming out here for the Snipers. A little different, obviously, with Liam Webster arriving a little bit late, but he'll start this period on the ice with Dave Barrett and Lazzarato. So look for this to be a big, strong line. All three of these players for the Snipers, very industrious, love to put in the work, and can definitely score. So great way to start the period, and it's off between the two captains, and it's won by Liam Webster again. He's won every faceoff so far, bar one. So here's Lazzarato sending it up there to the captain. The Snipers in through the zone. Stick poke check there by Hodak. Thrown in front. Lazzarato on the doorstep. Just lost it in his feet. Comes back here. Stolen by the Inferno as they exit the zone. On attack here is the captain, Matt Caruana, being watched there by Laver. Just pushes the puck into a good area and looks head up. Sends it deep there for Hodak. Back to Caruana. Leaves it for Raisman. Shoots deflected wide. And Klomp just missed that one. And now stretching the other way, it's Dave Barrett who trips on the blue line. And able to collect the puck again. So unfortunate one there for David. He walks out, takes a shot, and scores! He'll tell you that's the way he drew it up. But Dave Barrett walks out of the corner and goes 5-hole and opens the scoring 1-0 here for the Snipers. And look at the smiles on the bench.
I think Sebby Woodlands would have been thinking there's no way that he could get the smile off his face after that crash. Barrett blew a tyre and did the old B-League trick of thinking you're on a breakaway and tripping over the blue line, but managed to regain his composure, regain the puck, and stick it in the net. So the Snipers get first blood in this game.
What a goal there, and it was a hell of a pass broken out there by the defense that sprung Dave on the breakaway. But as you mentioned, great composure just to get back up and put the puck in the net, and now the Snipers lead as they look to make their way to their to the grand final after missing last season.
It's early days.
So puck's now on the stick into Keaton, who uses his speed as he skates in on Michael McMahon. Takes it wide, curls. He's got his brother standing in front of the net, but the puck's flicked over to the far side half wall.
Masterful defensive there play by McMahon. He just rode Nikitin wide, just gave him no room to move, forcing the bad angle.
Keisha has it on his backhand, sent it up looking for Matt Nikitin, but instead comes up for Tim. So Tim has in the far side corner being watched there by McDowell. His brother comes in and sends it back behind the net for Ananda, who just missed that pass over for Keisha. And now Cutter will get in a foot race here with Minson as the puck goes into the Inferno zone.
Cutter there just trying to nullify an icing, but it wasn't called.
Puck kept in on the point. It's with Flack, who skates in and just is pushed back towards the net. He sends it down there for Barrett, the goal scorer, who gets it back to McDowell, and he shoots that one wide. Activating off the point is McMahon, who just keeps that away from Lake, and Flack ties up Minson, and Keisha comes in to support in the back end there for the Inferno. Michael McMahon being pressured by Lake. He does get it down to Barrett, who looked in front for Flack, and the Inferno able to steer that over into the corner.
Quite a clash of the Titans there. McMahon, a great big solid man, and Lake half his size, but took him on.
Here's McMahon, who evades another check and tried to center that in front for Barrett, but the puck does eventually squirt out into the neutral zone, and the Snipers regroup in their own zone. Webster sent that all the way, and icing is waved off as Kikuchi gets there first, walks in and tries to roof that one, but unfortunately hit the wrong kind of roof as that one exited the playing field, and we'll have a face-off in the offensive zone.
So it's a good positioning there by Seb Woodlands just to put himself in the way and deny Kikuchi the easy shot. So he had to go over the top from that angle, that closeness to the goal. He didn't have much of a chance really to do that anything except from hit the wrong net. And that's what happened.
So here we are, Webster facing off again against Matt Caruana, and Webster wins that clearly back to the point. Kikuchi, who had that shot on, gets that deep behind the net. Webster walking out, back to Laver, who takes a shot. Barrett's there, and stolen right off his stick by Klomp, and he sends Hodick the other way. Hodick it alone, saved by Forrest.
Hodick there would have been feeling robbed. He was well sprung. He had all the room in the world, but couldn't get it past the last line of defense, Tommy Forrest.
If you're Dave Barrett, you might have said, Hodick, you needed to trip over the blue line first. That's the way you score one of those stretch passes.
He'll be famous for that now.
So here we are, and it's Webster who just chips that forward. Klomp, who made that pass to Hodick, has it on his stick. Keeps it away from Webster, takes it into the offensive zone himself, pits it across over for Caruana, and shot on now, and that goes wide.
Inferno with just the 1D back at the moment if the snipers can get it. And they fix that now.
Awkward bounce, but Spencer Nave able to get on that and just push the Inferno back into their own zone. Aaron pass there, and snipers now have it deep. Puck sent high and wide, and just a little bit of cautious play, but Cutter intercepts that, and that's going to activate the snipers. But an Aaron pass going to spring the Inferno the other way, and they had both Nikitin brothers loose, but Ananda couldn't get it to him.
Just couldn't quite get the handle on it there, that puck offside. But that comes about from another one of those classic plays out of defence with a cross-ice pass getting intercepted. So you've got to be really mindful when you do that if you're an Inferno defenseman. You've got to just make the pass go to someone rather than just kind of fling it across the net and hope that a winger on the far side is going to pick it up, because it's so risky when it goes wrong.
Face off here just in front of the Snipers bench, and it is won by the Snipers, and McDowell sends that deep. No one there, though, as the forecheck hasn't been activated. Spencer Nave takes a tumble in front of Woodlands, and there's a chuckle, but here comes Nikitin the other way, and Tom Forrest puts the oven mitt on that.
So those breakaways for the Inferno just starting to happen now. They've had a couple of good chances. They haven't been able to convert them. And obviously, as we've seen, there was that goal to Dave Barrett early on in the period. But the Inferno, at the moment, probably with most of the momentum in this particular period. They haven't outshot terribly much. It's been the Snipers just the 2-1 Inferno, sorry, 2-2. But it's certainly feeling like the flow is going the way of the Inferno. They are starting to get breaks.
And here it is on the stick of Apps, and he's got Spencer Nave, but is pushed back and just throws it over to an Aaron Wing, which is going to activate Keisha. So here come the Inferno on the backhand. He's got Ananda at the point, but he's tied up by McDowell. In comes Nikitin to support. And the Snipers get it far as only the point. So here's Ananda who winds, takes a shot right into the neck there of Apps. And you can see that sore as he struggles to get up, and he'll go straight to the bench. But here comes Dave Barrett, the goal scorer. Walking in, winds, takes a shot off the leg there of Minson.
So Apps very slow to get off the ice.
And that hit him right there up in the collarbone, and he looks to be going straight to the back of the bench. And there's a rough tumble there as McMahon was hit down by Hodick and wanted a penalty instantly, and it looks like he will get one.
Someone will be sitting in the box, and it's going to be Hodick by the look of it. Some words being exchanged between himself and Michael McMahon. No one's being penalised.
Oh, it's actually the opposite. So the penalty is going to Michael McMahon, and it is going for the additional slash that went on Hodick after that play, where he was tripped up into the net. So it will be 5-on-4. Power play here for the Inferno. Their first of the game, down by 1.
You can see Drake just pinching in a little bit on the blue line, looking for that win from if they can win the puck back from Macarona. For him
He
to win it straight across to Drake.
One hell of a shot, so if they can get it to him, beware.
And that puck is played off the field, and it may. The Inferno are appealing for a 2-minute delay of the game.
There is a point there by the official. I for one heard a little glass, but I don't know if that was before or after it hit the netting.
The rule is if you're not aware of the rule, if a defensive player plays it out of their zone and it hits the net above without anyone else touching it from their own defensive zone, then it's technically a delay the game penalty. And so there is some discussion
Doesn't look
occurring
like
at
they're
the
going to
moment, but
give
the
it.
refs
There's
aren't going to play that one this time.
That's a tough one. If you're not 100% certain as an official, there's no way you can give that. So that'll actually kill a few more seconds off the power play as well. But here comes Klomp here for the Inferno. He winds, takes a shot, deflected, kick save there, and Barrett's able to clear that out of the zone.
Inferno just resetting.
Big loss as well. Just remember, Michael McMahon in the box for the Snipers, arguably their #1 penalty killer. Here's Caruana on the point. He sends that deep. Drake tied up there by Kikuchi. Raisman able to get it back, but intercepted by the goal scorer, Dave Baird, who's in alone. So he's by himself. He'll take that in the corner. He's being watched by Hodick, who falls down. He's still all by himself, killing off some more precious moments and centered that, but Klomp was able to get it before Laver. So the Inferno on the power play, 37 seconds remaining, enter the offensive zone. Laver will clear that, and it will go right onto the stick of Apps. It's a 3-on-1 shorthanded. Flack, Apps, there, short scores! Bradley Apps, shorthanded after a 3-on-1 break, ends in a beautiful power play. Apps putting it short side after stick handling in a phone booth.
And the Inferno players all look a little bit bamboozled by that. How you get a 3-on-1 on a penalty on a power play as a shorthanded goal is a bit kind of beyond just about everyone. It just should never happen. But
no, that was a glove save.
It has been disallowed.
That was a glove save. My bad. I'm sorry for your Seb Woodlands. What a glove save.
Now we're back to 5-on-5. Michael Mann back on the ice.
That's the problem with this viewpoint. So Seb Woodlands with the save of the game after we just called it a goal.
You got us all confused, that's for sure. I think that was Hodick who was just suggesting to the referee that he should have a look in the goalie's glove, because that's where the puck was.
Yeah, there was the action for goal, but Seb Woodlands made one big glove save, and he keeps this at a 1-goal game, all important.
And they just
check this out on the CCM all-out replay. So he comes in and just outweights, and it was there, and he just pulls back the glove and looks skyward, and initially the goal was called, but Wally was there behind the net, and he knew for sure that puck was in the glove of the goaltender.
So we are 1-goal lead to the Snipers with 7 minutes to go in the second. In this semi-final you have when you don't have a semi-final.
So puck shot there onto the wall. It's a 1-0 game here in favor of the Snipers. Dave Barrett, who scored earlier in this period. We nearly thought it was a 2-0 lead there shorthanded, but Seb Woodlands came up big as he has all season for the Inferno.
It's an English cricket team. We should have got a goal from it situation.
So here it is, and the puck sent forward by McMahon over to Lazzarato, just chips it up. It's collected by Nikitin. He'll just shovel that up, and it will go down, but no icing. McDowell watched by Nikitin. Nikitin rubs him out and pins him. Support coming in by the Inferno. Webster not able to collect, and Caruana backhands. Short side, the puck's loose there, and the whistle goes as the official lost sight of the puck.
Just about everyone had lost sight of it there. It had just bobbled out in front of Tommy Forrest. Some of the players could see it and were still digging for it when the whistle blew. But just because the referee loses sight of it, they will stop the game. It's a safety thing. You can't have the game going when it's not under the control of the refs. So when they lose sight of the puck, regardless of what's actually happened, that's the stoppage.
That was much to the dismay of Klomp, who has the puck on his stick now. Cutter went to the point. He gives it down to Hodick. Hodick looking to move forward, but it's collected by Apps, who got robbed, and he sends Flack in alone. A diving poke check, and what a job by Drake to break that up as Flack was in alone.
Yeah, some desperate defense there by Drake.
Puck still in the offensive zone for the Snipers, though. It's behind the net on the stick of Cutter. Cutter walks out, takes a shot, blocking arm saved by Woodlands. Far side, a pinch by Laver, comes back down to Flack. He tosses that in front, and Woodlands just steers that behind the net. Apps walks out of the corner. He's being watched there by Caruana. It comes back to Flack, who just walks up on the half wall, exchanges there with Kikuchi, comes over to Laver. Laver shot wide, and that's going to miss absolutely everything and go down the length of the ice.
Good check here by Cy Lake on the forecheck on Kikuchi.
Oh, nice.
Kikuchi takes in nicely.
Nice job there, but he does get hit by Caruana, but Laver stolen, Lake shot, save there by Forrest. Battle in front, it comes out to the point. Klomp with a shot and a stick save there by Forrest deflects that up into the netting, and we'll have a face-off here. Check this out, this dive by Drake. Not to trip Flack, just able to get puck on stick. That is a defensive play for the ages.
It was a great
Take a bow.
It was a great way to break up the momentum of that attack. Otherwise, it's never a foregone conclusion. We've certainly seen breakaways not score goals, but they are the best scoring opportunity you get. And you'd have to say that in that situation, you'd be betting on the hands of the attacking player, not the goalie. But when it gets broken up by Drake like that, it ain't happening.
So here's the face-off. It's Webster who wins that into the skate of linesman Mark Farello, and activating off the point is Michael McMahon.
3-on-2.
He gallops through, takes it wide, drops it for McDowell, his D partner, as the sniper defense, both deep in the Inferno zone. Nikitin's far, but Barrett was able to come back as he stopped up that.
Good read by Barrett to just take Nikitin's stretch pass option out.
Here's Barrett just tying up with Keisha. Had the hand around Keisha, but Keisha's able to get away. Sends it through. It's Klomp, and he takes a shot on into the net, but play was called offside by the linesman Mark Farello here on the blue line.
Mark Farello had a great view of that. He saw exactly what the play was, but a good counter attack there, attack by the Inferno, and unfortunately for them, of course, once the whistle's gone, it's not a goal. And
yeah, definitely offside. It was Ananda short side right there. Good call, Mark Farello. Much to the dismay again.
Absolutely.
Of the Inferno team.
That's the way it goes.
So a 1-0 game here with 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. The puck out in the neutral zone. The Inferno regrouping. It's on the stick here of Minson, sending it forward to Caruana, who takes a shot off the stick and into the netting.
Caruana trying to get a shot through 3 snipers, defensemen, and there were sticks all over the place, and just enough to break up his rhythm. You can see he created that space out of nowhere. He was tangled up with Toddy Cutter, and just with a flick of a foot managed to create himself some space and get that shot away.
Caruana loses that one to Flack, and Laver has it behind his own net. His head's up. He'll just chip that off the glass. Can't get it past Hodick, though. Inferno now have it deep in the corner. Centered it by Caruana. Blocked by Kikuchi. Raisman picks it up, and it's stolen now by the snipers, and they'll exit the zone.
We've got 3-on-2.
Kikuchi over the blue line. On the backhand. Centers it back. Flack off the crossbar as he comes close to extending the lead here. Inferno have it on the stick of Raisman. That bounces off the stick of Hodick, and barreling forward is Apps. Apps over to Flack. Flack back to Apps, but a great stick save. Apps now with the one-timer down is Woodlands, and Hodick able to clear that over into the corner.
Woodlands with a game-saving save there.
Puck pushed forward and just out of the reach of Hodick, and the Inferno are going to change. Cutter up to Flack, who will just rim that around over to Barrett. Cutter's going to go for a change. Barrett just pauses, waiting for some teammates to get into a dangerous area. He'll just keep that away from Minson and allow his teammates to make the full change. So his line mates are now out. Barrett walks out in front, takes a shot, and a save by Woodlands.
Flack just got replaced by Liam Webster, who's now floating around in the slot waiting for that
McMahon
pass.
with a chippy shot there, and it's loose. Down is Woodlands. But Caruana able to send that high with a bit of backspin and just stop up there on the blue line. 53 seconds remaining. It's Barrett on the backhand over there back to Webster. Webster tried to go high and just shot a little over the crossbar.
You'll see this on the replay. There was 3 snipers, and they just tried to get a little bit too tricky, I think, maybe there with the pass. Woodlands with a great job of just flicking the puck back into the corner and getting a poke check out. But Webster was floating around free in the slot, and he had Laver off with him as well. Sorry, not Laver. That was I'll get there in a second. I think that was Flack who was just floating around as well. So great opportunities for the snipers, but Woodlands made the save he needed to and just disrupted the play with just on 10 seconds now, 15 seconds to go in the period as the Inferno dump the puck all the way down the other end. It's going to go for icing, but that is going to run the clock down at the end of the second. So we won't get this final face-off by the time it's all set up. It will be the end of the period. And the period has gone to the snipers. That one goal, and that went to Dave Barrett after the beer league trip over the blue line. And I think what might have happened there in that play was that Sebby Woodlands would have seen that happen and maybe had a bit of a giggle and lost a little bit of concentration. Barrett was then ridden into the corner And in the end, it was a shorthanded goal by Barrett, and it rewarded the workload that he does carry out throughout the game. Shots in that second period, 7 to the Inferno, 8 to the Snipers, and one of those 8 to the Snipers was that goal. Overall, shots 18 to 21 in favour of the Snipers. I've got to say, though, it usually felt through that period as though the Inferno had more of the play and certainly looked more dangerous. But there's a couple of occasions there when the Snipers were getting good play as well. It looks like Anton Goss has managed to get himself Dean Klomp that he's lining up to get an interview with very shortly. So we'll cut over to that in just a second when the camera gets pointed in the right direction, and we should hopefully have that pop up on the display for you in just a moment, which is while we wait for the camera to get redirected. But we'll cut over to the interview now, and we'll let the camera take care of itself.
Alrighty, Carl, I'm here with Inferno player Dean Klomp. Big game today. I mean, I'm not sure if you know how the thing works, but if you win, you get to play in the grand final. If you lose, you get to play a consolation game next week. Down by 1, what do you guys think you got to put in for the third period?
Well, I think both teams know what's at stake here today. Both teams are working hard, doing what we can to win here. Hopefully we have a good third period, keep up what we're doing, and get a couple lucky bounces.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we know you guys can beat these guys. I mean, I know you've had a few players like yourself that haven't been able to come to most of the games, but a few weeks ago, I think you had 7 on the bench. Similar scenario here going into the third, and the team just woke up. Do you think you guys have that belief, and who do you think is going to get that all-important tying goal?
Well, I think all year it's been a team effort. We've been missing guys in and out, but hopefully just we got a couple of gritty goals in the third here, and we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, my money's on you. I know how beautifully you skate out there. Go chat with the team. We look forward to seeing a good third period.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Dean. All right, back to you, Carl.
And thank you, Anton. Thank you, Dean Klomp, there for a couple of words before he goes off and gets in the in the change rooms just to suss out their plan. As he says, they've got to just get more shots on. It's an old cliche in hockey: get pucks in deep, get pucks on the net, and play simple hockey. You'll hear that over and over and over again. Especially if you watch Letterkenny or Shorzy, you'll be only too familiar with these hockey cliches. But all the same, that's what you got to do. It's simple. It's not a terribly complex game, and that's the aim of it. Get shots in the net, and that's what they both need to do. So Inferno, just a 1-goal lead that they are down by for the Snipers in favour of the Snipers. Can they pull it back in the third? There's only one way to find out. We'll be back with you in 10 minutes.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
and they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies, but in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet, flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
and they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
on the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
and they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes.
And welcome back to the iceHQ Ice Rink here in the Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the third period of the semi-final you have when you don't have a semi-final. Are you getting sick of that yet, Gossie? I'm not. I'm going to milk it all night long because this is the semi-final. The winner of this game goes through to the grand final in 2 weeks, and the loser is out. But if it's the Inferno, they get one more game next week.
I was chatting to Ralph Koenig earlier, just before, just after the interview with Klomp, and he was saying how they were talking in the room about how the team that loses today has to return their jerseys. You know, and that's a good way to think about it, right? It's like there's no more hockey.
Well, except there is for the Inferno. They get one more week.
Yeah, but it's meaningless.
But it's not the
it's
same.
absolutely
Well, yeah,
meaningless.
It doesn't matter. With I'm playing my last game next week for my team, the Rangers, and it will be my 199th game for that team, and then the team is disbanding, so I'm not going to get my 200. And I tell you, it's going to mean something.
Yeah.
Every game means something. It's it's irrelevant whether or not you get on the ice. You want to win. It's that simple, or at least you hate to lose, and they're the mirror image of the same thing. And no matter how that pans out, both teams have a lot at stake tonight, but the Inferno will get to play one game next week. And I'm not going to say that it's meaningless. The two teams will come here with the Dogs as a hit-out and the Inferno with some pride to play for. And pride's a big deal.
Well, that's assuming that the Inferno are going to lose, right? It's
well, that's
only,
true. We
it's
don't
only
know.
a 1-0 game. And
but I tell you, know who they are missing? I think they're missing Georgia Carson. She makes such a difference to that team as their coach. She's not here tonight, unfortunately, for them, and I think that's the leadership and discipline that she provides. That team makes an enormous difference. I don't know if you're listening tonight, Georgia, but I think this team owes you an enormous amount, and certainly we respect your coaching abilities enormously. So
just a bit
what
of
you've done for them has been fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely second that. But a little recap of how we got to where we are today. It was a scoreless first period. And the Snipers went ahead early in the second off an unassisted goal by Dave Barrett.
But he was assisted by the blue line.
Yeah, he went in alone, took a little tumble, picked up the rebound himself, pulled it out in front and scored. But then it was a great defensive play by Drake to dive and knock the puck off the stick of Flack as he entered into the offensive zone. And then Bradley Apps went in on a 3-on-1 shorthanded, and everyone on the ice thought it was a goal, including myself here calling it a goal, but it was in the glove of Seb Woodlands. And that's why it's a 1-0 game so far. Only one puck has crossed the red line, except for that one after the whistle,
which doesn't count. Don't take a slap shot out on empty netter either, apparently, because you might wear a cross check.
Yeah. I think Klomp's lucky for that one. But the teams are on the ice now, and they know it's for all the marbles right now as they gain the opportunity to play against the very dangerous Dogs.
Well, no one's beaten the Dogs apart from a overtime shootout in the start of the season. Since then, they have been dominant. So the team that gets through tonight out of these two will have a powerful lot of work to beat the Dogs. But I've got to say, Gossie, if I think anyone can beat the Dogs, it's the Inferno.
I would argue the Snipers have beaten the Dogs. So
yes,
I think that maybe they could possibly do it again. But you're right. I mean, the truth is both of those teams are really going to be up against the Dogs. But you know, there's still 20 or 18 minutes left to play today. And if you're the Snipers, you just want to keep the puck to the outside, play perimeter hockey. The only thing the Inferno have going for them is the speed through the middle. We saw them expose the Snipers.
That's a big only thing, though, really, when you think about it. That's a huge thing. So they've got Karuna, who's been creating space out of nowhere. We're just about to get underway now in that last 18 minutes of this period. Because it's a 1-goal difference, with 3 minutes to go, we will go to stop time unless it blows out, and I don't think it's going to. So we're underway.
Face-off was won, and it's deep here in the Inferno defensive zone. Puck's on the stick of Alexi Raisman, but Dave Barrett nearly picks his pocket. Caruana over the blue line, takes a shot, and into the chest there of Tom Forrest. He gobbles that up.
A shot there in the first 12 seconds of the game there to Caruana. You can see him just making space. Yeah, Liam Webster putting some pressure through him through the top of the neutral zone, but then broke away from him and just managed to get that shot away. But from a bad angle, Tommy Forrest making that one pretty easy.
Face-off tied up. It comes back to the point. Drake takes a shot on, steered into the corner by Forrest. Laver just bumped on by Caruana. Webster sends it forward. Barrett chips it back through, and skating with speed now is Kikuchi. He's got Lazzarato and Webster with him. Kikuchi takes it wide, short side shot, and into the chest there, and covered up by Seb Woodlands.
Yeah, Kikuchi activating a lot. He's a very offensive defensive player. Or you could argue that he played very well as a forward two weeks ago when these teams last played against each other, and he was very effective up forward. Woodlands made no mistake with that one, shut down the angle and gave him nothing but torso to shoot the puck at.
So here we are. It's Apps up against Ananda, and Apps wins that one. It comes back to McDowell, who gets it over to McMahon, who chips it forward and deflected there by Cutter, and that one just went wide.
Good option there for McMahon on the tip in for Cutter. Cutter just couldn't quite get the angle on that he wanted, but he was perfectly positioned.
Apps gets it back to Cutter. Cutter shot short side. That goes high, and Apps will collect it on the half wall. Nikitin comes in, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Flack tied up there, and puck deep into the far corner for Drake. Kept in by the Snipers. It's on the stick of Apps. He walks through, chips it over to Flack, and now it does exit the zone, and McDowell was chased down by Nikitin, and all he could do is send it right back to the Inferno.
And McDowell had both the Nikitins chasing after him. He would have realised that was a pressure situation that he absolutely had to win.
Flack kicks it forward, shot on, and right back into that glove of Seb Woodlands as he's been hot tonight.
And that was a great save there, Woodlands. It was a pluck out of the air. It was a very rapid-fire shot from a quick turnaround, and Woodlands just managed to flash the leather and pluck that one out of the sky. It was a good shot. Great goaltending. It looks easy from that top-down shot, but from where we were standing, it came at him pretty hard.
Puck now back, shot on by McDowell, down and deflected into the corner. It's Keisha in there with Lazzarato. He was able to get it up and out, and the Snipers will just send that in as they tag up. Woodlands just left that for Keisha. He sends that forward, misses everyone, and intercepted here by McDowell. Chips it forward for Lazzarato. Keisha got there first for the Inferno. Battle there in the near side corner. In comes the captain, McDowell, and he'll just send that high. Going forward now is Dow, who's on the ice here as he's entered the game. So Dow, who missed the first two periods, has put the skates on, and let's see what he can do here for the Inferno. On it is Caruana, so fresh legs for the Inferno. He's got it on the half wall. Hodick came in, but it's stolen by the Snipers, and it's on the stick of Lazzarato. He's got Kikuchi to his right and Barrett to his left. Kikuchi behind the net, keeps it away from Drake. In came Hodick, and he stole that puck, and now the Inferno down the other way, a 3-on-2. Hodick with a shot, blocking arm save. Klomp in front for Caruana, and he just knocked that wide.
It was great back pressure earlier on there by Dow, making a desperate back check. He knew how important it was.
Here comes Apps down the other way. He's 1-on-3. He just mishandled that one, and Ananda leaves that for Raisman, but Cutter steals it. He's got Apps wide open in front of the net. Gets it to the high slot for Flack. He was poke checked by Ananda, and the Inferno down the other way. It's back and forth hockey. A great poke check there by Kikuchi allows Cutter to get it in for the Snipers in his zone. And now they'll look to slow it up as it's just been back and forth. Raisman collects it, goes side, Hodick in front, shot, saved by the too many men. But the Snipers have the puck as they exit. It was McMahon over to Webster. Icing waved off. Webster bats it out of the air. Keisha collects it and shovels it forward. Snipers now in their own zone. The Inferno pinching, stolen by Tim Nikitin on a break, shoots and a save there by Forrest. McDowell tied up there. It rims all the way around and out of the zone. Nave is going to skate in on Minson, and the hand is up, and it is icing.
And that was McDowell there with a desperate back check there for the Snipers, just shutting down that odd rush. You won't see it from the top view, but McDowell with a fantastic job there in defence, just killing off that Inferno attack. He absolutely knew that he needed to. McMahon had been beaten, and it was all just Tommy Forrest in the way, but McDowell got back and put enough pressure on to force everything wide and shut it down.
Little discussion by the officials. I think the Snipers are saying that was the Inferno player that chipped it down. The other linesmen didn't have their hand up, and Mark Ferrello blew the whistle. So everyone's able to make a mistake every now and then, and we'll just face off right in the middle.
So we'll extract a beer from Mark Ferrello later on that one.
So here we are deep in the Snipers' offensive zone. It's on the stick of Dean Klomp. He curls back behind the net, being watched by the youngster Spencer Nave, who gets the stick on it, intercepted by Barrett, the goal scorer, the lone goal scorer tonight. It's on the stick of the captain, Liam Webster. He was trying to get it back to the point, but it's stolen by Caruana. He's coming in on McMahon, who just forces him back.
Beautiful defensive play. McMahon just shut down his angles, and Caruana ended up with nowhere to go but into a sea of blue.
Barrett wasn't able to separate the puck from Caruana. Now he comes in with speed. Nice poke check there by McDowell. Klomp now activates off the point. He winds, shoots, and a save there by Forrest. Cutter now has it. It's a 2-on-1 if he can get over to Flack. Here he comes. Stops up. Flack to the net. Deflected high and over the net off the stick of Keisha, as Cutter wasn't able to find Flack. And we'll see this on the CCM All-Out replay. A great active stick by Keisha, able to knock that high and over the net.
Watch Keisha's positioning there. He didn't go to the puck carrier. He cut off the passing lane, giving the goalie just the one player to look at. Fantastic defensive read there by the Inferno defense.
Shot on by Laver, and again deflected high and into the netting.
So what you'll just see there, if you're not familiar with that particular play, you might be thinking that the Snipers had two players on the attack, and the one Inferno player should go to the puck carrier, but nothing could be further from the truth. Instead, what they did there, Keisha cut off the passing line, which meant the goalie only had to worry about the one player.
Yeah, let the goalie make the save. That's what I always say. It's in the off neutral zone, and Dow, who's fresh on this third period, takes a shot, and that one goes wide. What a story would it be if Kevin Dow, who entered for the third period, scores the tying goal, and he has a third shot on net this shift.
The net has moved, so they'll pull it back. The referees have blown up the game because the net's moved off the posts. You'll just see this in the replay. Maybe Tommy Forrest touches the net and pushes it back a little bit. Looks like he might have just around about there. So the net moves, and we'll have a restart.
Yeah, check it out on the CCM All-Out replay. Just came over, knocked on. Nothing malicious on that one.
No goalie would ever
Puck
do
back,
that.
it's Klomp. Winds, nice block there by Flack, and now the foot race is on. Klomp versus Flack, and Klomp gets there first, and a tumble, but official was right there. Flack picked up the puck, so no penalty as Crowther was right there, right in front, and he had no issue with that. Puck's now there with Laver. He activates off the point. A shot on, deflected into the corner off the stick of Ananda. It's circled around to the far side. Hodick first there for the Inferno. Apps now pushed back into the zone, being watched by Hodick. Able to give it to Laver, who'll just shovel that deep. Smart hockey here for the Snipers as they play with a 1-0 lead. A goal by Dave Barrett, unassisted in the second period. Hodick has it now, and he pushes it forward. He skates ahead to it as he comes in on Kikuchi. Dropped it there for Klomp, but Cutter's able to get it up to Webster, and he comes in. Spencer Nave on his horse, trying to get in, but Webster takes the shot. It blocked right off the neck there of Woodlands and went over the net, and out comes Minson now as he pushes that puck forward.
It was a superb shot there by Liam Webster. He blindsided everyone. I don't think Woodlands knew it was coming. And that was Webster's game there, was just concealed the shot.
Such a quick release, you know. They'd say he has a shot like Austin Matthews, but I think he's a bit older than Austin, so maybe Austin shoots like Liam Webster, and he scores! A shovel just forward on the backhand by Lazzarato. Fools everyone. Let's see this on the CCM All-Out replay. Woodlands must not have seen it as it just chipped forward, and no, deflected off the stick of the captain, Liam Webster. in the high slot as a captain's goal doubles the lead and makes it 2-0 here with 8 minutes remaining in a do-or-die game here at iceHQ.
It's just the virtue of being in the right place, getting those shots on the net. And just a little bit of a cheeky backhand there by Lazzarato. There wasn't much on it, as you say, Gossie, but Webster was there to change the angle. And when that happens, there's not much a goalie can do.
Puck's now deep as the Inferno must throw caution to the wind fairly soon as they're down by 2 here late in the third. Shot on there by Lazzarato, blocked by Woodlands. Webster couldn't get that past Keisha, who gets the puck stolen off him by Spencer Nave. Nave now down with Caruana, and they push and shove one another. Is right in front of the official. They're fine with that. Webster intercepts that one, and he'll just rim it all the way around as the Inferno go for a change. Great skating there by Michael McMahon, and he'll pin the puck deep as he waits for his teammates to join the play.
One of the most amazing things about Michael McMahon, he never looks like he's moving terribly quickly, but his speed from his incredibly efficient skating, he just moves so fast and you don't realise it's quite deceptive when he does it, decide to activate like that. All the snipers need to do at the moment, they don't need to take any risks. They just need to keep firing the puck in deep and keep the Inferno pinned back down in their own zone. They don't need to score any more goals. A 2-goal lead is a good one with 6.5 minutes to play. The Inferno at some point will have to pull their goalie and throw absolute caution to the wind. We'll see when they decide to do it, or can they score a goal before they need to.
There we go. So it's back here. It's with Kikuchi. Shot on and into the glove hand. He tried to let the play go to Klomp, but that's going to kill off a few more precious seconds here late in the third period.
If you're a sniper player, you're thinking we're just going to ice the puck. Doesn't matter if it runs the clock down. Not at the moment anyway.
Puck back to Laver. Laver over to Kikuchi. Kikuchi off the stick of Dow and into the roof.
Keeps running the clock down. That's all they need to do. And snipers are playing very smart hockey now. They've got that goal, and that's made it much harder for the Inferno. 2-goal lead is much harder to deal with at this point. The snipers can just keep running the clock.
Face-off won, though, by the Inferno, and Drake sends that, and it's
now, is he
going
to
to be
get done
too
for delay
many.
the game?
Yeah,
Yep.
They're saying that went straight out as it ramped off his stick, and Chris Drake goes for 2 or less.
So the Inferno now will have to kill a penalty for 2 minutes. The reason that's happened is Drake has played the puck. He's tried to rim it around the net, but unfortunately he's rimmed it too high, and it's hit the net, and that's technically a delay the game penalty. So he will be out for 2 minutes. And the Inferno, although then again, short-handed goals happen more than you'd think. The snipers can get complacent in this situation. That's what they need to be mindful not to do.
So on the power play here, their third of the game. It's sent back to the point to McMahon. He gives it over to Webster. Webster back to McMahon. McMahon down to Apps.
So the snipers don't need to score a goal here. They can just play with the puck.
Apps over to
2
Webster,
minutes.
nearly intercepted there by Hodek. Puck's loose, pushed into the net. Kikuchi shoving Woodlands in, but the puck stayed out, and we'll see this on the CCM All-Out replay. A good shot that handcuffed Woodlands, and then, Kikuchi just shoved by Caruana into Woodlands, and then the whistle went. So face-off won again here by the Snipers. It's with McMahon, back over to Webster. These two love to play catch here on the power play. Back to McMahon and deflected there by Caruana into the netting.
Now, because Caruana didn't play it, it's a deflection. It doesn't count as a delay of the game. So if you had have actually intentionally done that or intentionally had a shot and it gone out, but the deflection off a stick doesn't count for a delay of the game. Not just as well for the Inferno. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play.
McMahon held up, gives it back to Flack, back over to Webster. Webster fake shot into Flack. Flack over to Apps, and he fanned on that one. McMahon's calling for it at the point, but Apps curled back. Klomp looks to separate him from the puck, but it does eventually get to McMahon. He'll send it over to Webster, who gives it right back over to Apps. Apps being watched by Klomp. A poor pass there, and Keisha's able to intercept that, and the Inferno now looking to create some offense shorthanded. It comes out in front, and a shot on into the chest of Tom Forrest, who makes his.
And watch for Tommy Forrest to be slow to get the puck to the referees and for the Snipers to make a slow change. But they need to be mindful too. They've got to be careful here because they're going to have Drake coming straight back on the ice on the drop of the puck, which will kill off the penalty. And, if they've done some sort of a break up the ice, then they may find they're surprised a little bit by this.
And here we are. So Drake's out, and Tommy Forrest, 27 straight saves so far. Puck deep now for Spencer Nave as icing's waved off. Drake runs into the youngster. Nave still has it though, gives it over to Barrett. Barrett looks to center it over to Lazzarato. Fans on that one, and here come the Inferno, 3-on-2. It's on the stick of Caruana. Clomps with him, takes it into the slot area. Still with it, the captain. Takes it wide, centers it, it's loose, and they score! Caruana threw it in front, and it was off a skate of someone and into the back of the net, and just like that, the Inferno have life with 2 minutes and 49 seconds left in the game.
That may have been...
Saw that on the CCM all-out replay. It looks like it's
off.
being claimed there by Caruana, so it must have been off the skate of the sniper. We'll see it here on the CCM all-out replay. Comes out in front and right off the skate of Kikuchi. So Caruana with his 6th of the season team leading for the Inferno puts his team within 1, and with 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the game, it could go any way.
And we now have stop time. The difference being the 1 goal would have been, so the last 3 minutes with the 2-goal differential, we will have stop time. So now any attempts to slow down the game by icing or steering the puck out of play or so forth, or goalies hang on to it, won't help. So for the Snipers, that little bit of a luxury of being able to run the clock down to the last 3 is now no longer a viable option for them. 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Every time the play stops, the clock will stop in this last 3 minutes. That 1-goal lead to the Snipers. Watch for the Inferno to pull their goalie, to flood all their players forward and try and keep the puck in the Sniper zone. Do they pull their goalie straight away, or do they leave him on? Looks like they're leaving Woodlands on to start with.
You'd want to make sure you have offensive pressure in the offensive zone before you yank them.
As a general rule, you'd say yes. But at the same time, you've got to throw caution to the wind here and just do what you can do.
Plenty of time.
They've moved everyone forwards.
So here we are, 5-on-5 hockey. Inferno and Snipers, 2-1 for the team in blue. Snipers do get it deep. Woodlands came out and just left it for Keisha. They leaving one player forward high, and it does go down the length of the ice, but no icing as they claim it was touched off McMahon. McMahon sends it forward to Abs, activating there is Keisha. Now with Flack. Good job there by Hodick. The Inferno
pinch too by Hodick. That was
do
great
get
play.
it into the offensive zone. Still in the net is Woodlands. Puck's paused up on the wall. It's on the stick of McMahon here for the Snipers now as he just tries to clear that out. It's kept in by Caruana and blocked there by the Sniper defender.
Still Woodlands on the ice. He hasn't left the ice yet.
Not able to clear that one. It's now out in front of Klomp, but just couldn't see that one as it goes down into the corner. On the stick of McDowell here for the Snipers. They haven't been able to exit the zone, but they do now as it comes down the length of the ice and will be an icing with 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining here.
You'll see there on that play that Seb Woodlands didn't play it. He deliberately just watched the puck go in beside the net. If he had gone out and played it, it would have been no icing, and the Inferno would have then had to play the puck up the ice under a forecheck. But now instead they get an attacking zone face-off. The clock had stopped, so they get to come back and have another go. Watch for Woodlands to leave the ice. He hasn't done it yet.
Minson with a shot on, a kick save there by Forrest. He's up to 28 saves so far tonight. Klomp through into the slot area, still with it. He's being watched by Flack.
There goes Woodlands.
Support comes in, so it's 6-on-5 on the stick of Klomp. Klomp back to Keisha. Keisha shot, save there by Forrest. Comes back to Klomp. He throws that on. Juicy rebound in the slot area. Puck's behind the net. Flack collects it and sends that down the length of the ice. Will it be enough for icing? No. So Minson forced to play it here with 1:20 remaining. He rips that up over to Keisha. Keisha back over to Ananda. Hodick's free, but intercepted by Lazzarato, and he just backhands that deep into the Inferno zone. 1 minute remaining in the season of the Inferno as that nearly went off Barrett. It's to Lazzarato now. Takes the shot. What a save by Minson as he goes down. How important will that be at the end of this game with 55 seconds remaining? He gets a pat there from Woodlands. And here comes Klomp in. Takes it wide. Centers it. Puck's loose. Forced down. Puck's in the slot. And the whistle goes with 40 seconds remaining as Tommy Forrest covers up there late in the third as the Inferno try to extend their season here. Look at that.
You can see the Inferno really piling the pressure on in this period. They've doubled the number of shots on the net to the Snipers. Now, there are reasons for that which aren't just that they've got that lead. But with this one goal,
look at this.
and
This is
40
the best
seconds,
save of the game. A kick save off the toe
Yeah, Gossie,
by
there's a game.
Casey Minson. What a
Gossie.
save there.
Gossie, there's a game
So
on.
great job. Yeah, and you're allowed to call on replays when it's on the cast, buddy. Trust me, people want to see the replays as well. So here's the puck in the zone for Nathan Keisha. He's got that as he chips it over to Hodick. Hodick now with speed through, gives it over to Ananda. Puck's deep there for McMahon.
Under 20 seconds to go.
Puck's on Hodick, center to Klomp, and he one-timed that one wide. It's kept in, it's on the point. Keisha looked to center that. Batted out of the air by Webster. Pinching is Keisha. Keisha looked to center it.
5.
Forrest has no stick as he picks it up now, and that's going to go down the length of the ice, and that will be it as the Snipers defeat the Inferno 2-1 and book their place in the grand final against the Dogs in a couple of weeks.
So an absolutely incredible last couple of minutes there of that game. The Snipers, the Inferno, they did pull Tommy Woodlands, they did pull Seb Woodlands there at the finish with about 2 minutes to go and really piled on that pressure. Magnificent save by Casey Minson, masking himself up as a goaltender, and with just a reflex save of just putting his body in the way there to keep them in it. And great pressure there in the end. The Inferno threw everything forwards, did everything they could. But the Snipers, they have won their way into the grand final in 2 weeks against the Dogs. The Inferno will get a game against the Dogs next week, but it will be a dead rubber. They can't make the grand final now. A semi-final won by the Snipers with a beautiful goal by Dave Barrett early on after he tripped over the blue line. And he'll be watching replays of that one for quite some time, I think, and getting a little bit of a laugh. But at the same time, also, he got the goal. And Barrett did play a fantastic game. It was consistent pressure. One of the hardest working players you'll see here in this competition, and his effort has been rewarded tonight. Liam Webster with a tip-in from a shot. Didn't really have much on it from Lazzarotto in the second, but it was the nail in the coffin for the Inferno, the second with that beautiful goal by Webster. Just managing to get a stick on the puck and deflect it past the goaltender in Woodlands. Not much you can do when they come at you from weird angles. Karuna got one back to bring it just a 1-goal margin with 2 minutes 54 unassisted. A nice play getting past everyone, and I think that magic that he does with just making space where you'd swear there wasn't any. And Karuna has been one of the most outstanding players here, and it will be a shame for him not to be in a grand final, but that's how it goes. You can't win a game on your own, and I think the Inferno played particularly well, and it was just a couple of lucky breaks either way that in the end was the breakup. I think the Inferno missing Georgia Carson on the bench, she does make a big difference to providing with that leadership, but they did play particularly well, and it was a luck of the draw that game. I don't think there was any absolute clear-cut win. It was just one of those games of hockey where that's just the way that it goes. So in the end, shots 33 to the Inferno, 28 to the Snipers, but goals, 2 goals to the Snipers and 1 goal to the Inferno to take them through into the grand final. The finals program, well, next week is not a final. Next final is the last round of the regular season, and that will be the Dogs. And if you're an Inferno fan, come down and cheer on your boys. They've had a great season. They were threatening all year. Certainly they started off a bit flat, but towards the end of the season, they did what the Inferno have always done. But this year, they won't be winning a grand final like they managed to do last year after a slow start. This season, it's not going to quite work out for them. It will be between the Snipers and the Dogs in a fortnight. But you'll see the Dogs come and have a hit out next week against the Inferno on Friday the 1st, 7:30. And then the grand final will be on the 8th at 7:30 as well. I'm just waiting to see who Anton Goss has organised for an interview. It looks like he may have Tommy Forrest, so we'll cut over to that in just a second as soon as he's got him in position to go. So Anton, pretty much as soon as you're ready, Anton Goss and Tommy Forrest.
All righty, Carl, I'm here with star goaltender Tommy Forrest. What a game to book yourselves into the grand final. You seem dialed in. What can you tell me about the emotions going through right now?
Had a lot of trust in the D core. We talked a lot about it in the group chat. Shout out Drew Caffrey, Dad. So shout out to the guys in front of me. Made it a lot easier.
Yeah, you guys played a really good team game. I mean, last time you played against these guys, you really let them come in and spring forward. But ultimately, the only team able to score tonight really was yourselves, as that one went off one of the defenders. But you seem really dialed in, especially to do with the rebound control for some of the young guys. What can you do to work on making sure you just have those stick to you in the chest?
It's just practice. You got to see pucks to know what to do with them, so just practice.
Awesome, man. Well, you're obviously going up against the Dogs. You know, they can score plenty, but you guys are the only ones that have beaten them so far this season. What do you think you guys will need to do in a couple of weeks to take home the silverware?
Learn how to put pucks in the back of the net, score more than them, and try and keep them on the outsides. We know their power play is pretty good, so we're not pretty good. It's obviously the best one in the league, so need to stay out of the box as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hopefully they can give you a lead, because when you got a lead, you play lights out. Great game, mate, and look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. Thanks.
Thanks, Anton.
All right, cheers. Back to you, Carl.
Thank you very much, Anton. Thank you, Tommy Forrest, and a great little interview there with the goaltender. It's absolutely right. You've got to score more goals than the other team to win the game, and we know the weakness of the Dogs can sometimes be their penalties, but they have a particularly effective play, and that'll be a great contest in a fortnight. So next week, we have the final round of the regular season. That will be the Dogs versus the Inferno. It's a dead rubber for the Inferno, but it's their last chance to play this season, and the Dogs will be using that as a bit of a hit out as they prepare for the grand final. Grand final will be Friday, March the 8th at 7:30 p.m. I can't wait. Bring it on.